courage to not back down and to stand up with us. So please welcome, not only do we stand with Kaepernick, but we stand with Linda, our sister, Linda Sarsour. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Let me hear you, New York City. I don't believe you because that man in that boardroom up there needs to hear you. Let me hear you, New York City. So I want to make something real clear. For a long time, we've been talking about ending white supremacy, and people been saying that we were really radical, that was a radical thought to put forth. All of a sudden, in the past few days, ending white supremacy became a mainstream idea. See, sisters and brothers, it'll take a lot of courage for you to stand up after white coward men with tiki torches start walking around a place like Charlottesville. It takes real courage to go after the real white supremacists, the ones in the suits in the boardrooms, the ones sitting in Congress, the ones who are profiting off the very communities that are here today. So we need to ensure that the very people who are living luxurious lives off the profits that we put in their pockets hear us real loud. Power concedes nothing without a demand. So we can't just be out here hollering and talking about how angry and mad we are. We got to be clear. Number one, we stand with Kaepernick. We want him to get signed. Because if the NFL can sign rapists, domestic violence abusers, animal abusers, then you know what? They can sign a man who stood up for what is right and highlighted the injustices to the underrepresented communities that he comes from. Colin Kaepernick is not doing this for Colin Kaepernick. Because Colin Kaepernick could have easily said, I'm going to stand here and put my hand on my heart and say the Pledge of Allegiance. He made a decision that he knew was not politically expedient for him in his career, but he made that choice anyway. The question is, what are you ready to do for the communities that we come from? So the Reverend Jamal Bryant talked about Verizon. And Verizon is one of the largest advertisers of the NFL. So we go and give them a chance, because, you know, we like to give chances because we good people, right? I want you to tweet at Verizon. It's very simple. At Verizon, say, ask Verizon, can you hear me now? You're going to stand with Kaepernick? Are you going to stand with black people, with brown people? And we want Verizon to take a stand and tell us what side they're on, and we hope they choose the side of the people. They also got a phone number, because I'm old school. I like to pick up the phone. I like people to hear my voice. And they're a phone company, so I'm hoping they appreciate it. So if y'all want to pull out your phones and just put this number down, and I'm sure this brother's not going to be really happy with me that I'm giving you his phone number. But the number is 212-395-2355. I'm going to say it one more time, you know, just in case. 212-395-2355. And you call your friends at Verizon. Because you know how they got that whole army that's supposed to be out here when your phone don't work? We hoping that army's on the inside answering the phones. And if you get somebody on the phone, I want you to say, we know that you give over $130 million, right, to the NFL. And we hope that you stand in with black and brown communities and your consumers. And by September 7, you know, we give them a little time to think about it and have those meetings, you know. But we hope that Verizon chooses to stand on our side. So let me tell you why. Because people are not like us. The powers that be don't care about morality or integrity or dignity and respect of our communities. They only speak one language, and the language is money. So until people respect the black dollar, the brown dollar, the immigrant dollar, we will get nothing for the communities that we come from. So are you guys down? Can you hear me now? I want to hear you real loud. Can you hear me now? So we stand here today in support of Brother Cap, a man who puts his money where his mouth is. So not only did he kneel during the game in solidarity with the communities that he comes from, he has invested in uplifting and educating the blackest brown young people in this country. So if Cap can put his money where his mouth is, are you going to put your money where your mouth is, or are you going to keep putting your money with the people who are at the helm of oppressing the communities that we come from? So, Tamika said this, and I believe in this. We got people over here on this side holding up Blue Lives Matter flags. So let's talk about that for one quick second, because that bothers me. There is no such thing as a blue life. There are no blue people unless they belong on another planet that we haven't been to yet. There are only human beings. Sisters and brothers, we are a movement that is not anti-law enforcement. We are anti-law enforcement misconduct, and we hope that law enforcement officials join our side, just like the courageous brothers and sisters of the NYPD 12. Where's my brother Raymond? Sergeant Edwin Raymond. So we want to be real clear, sisters and brothers, that when we talk about police and the systems of oppressive policing in this country, we're not talking about individual police officers. Because we got police officers that have found the moral courage to stand up on the inside of the systems that they work on that are oppressing their communities. Shout out to our brother Edwin Raymond, who is one of those courageous black men who are standing up for all of us on the inside of the New York Police Department. And when you hear us talking about white supremacy, we're not talking about white people. So we don't need white people to be defensive when we're talking about ending white supremacy. What we hope is that there are courageous white people who stand with us to call for an end to white supremacy that has oppressed this country from the days of its founding. So don't leave this rally today without doing a few things. Number one, you're going to tweet at Verizon and give them a PR nightmare until they stand with the people. And then you're going to call that number and say that you hope that Verizon stands with Cap and stands for justice for our communities and remembers that it is us too that put our dollars in their pockets. Do not underestimate the power of the individual. Never say it doesn't matter because I'm only one person or one customer. Remember, sisters and brothers, that when the Women's March and Tamika, Carmen, and Bob and myself and the dozens of women who organized the Women's March, imagine if every person said, they're not going to miss me at the Women's March. I'm just not going to show up. We would not have had the largest single-day protest in U.S. history. So we want you to know that we will not be silenced by Blue Lives Matter, by white supremacists, by neo-Nazis, by right-wing Zionists. Expect us anytime there is a fight for justice or a fight against injustice. You better expect us, because we will be there, and we will be there on the front lines, and that means putting our lives on the lines for justice. Malcolm X said, if you are not ready to put your life on the line for freedom, take that word out of your mouth. So we stand here today in honor of Brother Malcolm X, Brother Muhammad Ali, Brother Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, a.k.a. Chris Jackson, because Colin Kaepernick stands on the shoulders of giants. Let us not honor people only when they are dead and old or old. We honor them in this life and now in the present, and Colin Kaepernick needs us now.